Hello everyone! So today we are back at it with another tier list. Today's tier list is going to be a personal tier list, and this is going to be how fun I think each killer is to play, now that I have officially played every single killer for at least 10 games. And note, this is playing as, not against. Starting off, we're going to go in order. Trapper is one of those that I typically have about an average time playing Trapper. I like playing him because I like playing really strategically. I feel like that's fun to switch up every now and then. But I don't quite think that he's like super fun, or like, he's not going to be my go-to if I'm just trying to have some fun. He's my character that I play if I'm trying to kind of like zone in and I really want to focus on working on certain things. So yeah, Trapper goes into my average category. Wraith, I think, is just fun. I think it's fun running around, chasing people, you know, even if you're just acting around, being goofy, ringing the bell. You can't really go wrong with Bing Bong. I think it's fun, and for that reason, that's where I'm putting him there. Billy is another one that, keep in mind, this is a personal tier list. I think he's just average. I don't have a lot of success with Billy. I have a hard time using him. And it is for that reason alone that I'm putting him in the average category. I know a lot of people have a lot of fun with Billy, and there are people that are just a lot better with him than I am. I'm not at that level yet where I'm able to just have a lot of fun and then just like snipe people across the map. Nurse is one that I don't think is very fun because I'm just really not good with Nurse. If I were better at Nurse, I probably would have more fun playing as her. I know a lot of Nurse mains that enjoy it. They like being able to they love being able to mind game, cut people off. But me personally, I'm not at the level yet where I can do that. So I have to keep her in the not very fun category. This is going to surprise people, but my first very fun is going to be Myers. Myers is one of those that is just such a weak character that it's fun whenever you can make stuff happen. Not only that, but if you're playing like Scratched Mirror Myers, I think those matches are so fun and so hilarious. Jump scaring people, I think is very fun. And then whenever you decide to run like Infinite Tier 3 or Tombstone, I think that's another one of those that's just, it's so fun whenever you pull it off. And even just trying to get to that point where you can. I think it's a lot of fun, and I quite enjoy Myers. So Hag is a lot like Trapper. However, I actually have a little bit more fun playing Hag. For the reason being, you place down a lot more of your seals, and I really like these because even if you're not teleporting and getting hits and everything, just knowing that you're probably scaring the hell out of people with your traps going off, that alone is a lot of fun. And then whenever you can like actually get there and they don't notice that you've gotten there, you can cut people off pretty easily. You can have a lot of fun doing it. I personally think there's a lot of fun to be had with Hag. Doctor is another one that I'll put in fun. Doctor is a character that I play whenever I'm trying to farm. Or if I'm deciding to play like friendly games, I like to play Doctor because you can just kind of harass survivors with him. You know, you don't actually have to go into chase, you don't actually have to get downs with him, you can just static blast, you can keep constantly hitting them with your power, and you can just overall you can just kind of have fun with it. You know, just running around. I've had games before where I'll chase just one survivor the entire match and just keep shocking them over and over again, simply because I can, and they can't do anything about it. For that reason, I think Doctor's pretty fun. So this is going to be a reoccurring theme for a lot of the ranged killers. I don't enjoy playing a lot of them, and that's only because I play the game on console. I don't play it on PC. So killers like Huntress and Trickster, I'm really, really bad at trying to aim their power, especially using controller. And so for that reason alone, I just don't really enjoy playing these characters. Huntress is one of those that I still try to pick up here and there, and I really do try to practice getting better at. But in my own opinion, I know that Huntress is fun as hell for people that are really good at her and are great on PC. I know that I'm not good with her, so I don't enjoy playing. Bubba. Bubba's another one that I think is very fun. And that's because Bubba is very, very, like, he's the definition of high risk, high reward. Whenever you get, like, a super great chainsaw sweep, it feels great. You know that you've timed it up right, you've gotten the hit, you've gotten the insta-down. But the trade-off is, if you screw up, you're going into tantrum, and it's going to take a long time to recover from that. So you have to think back on your feet, how am I getting back into this? Bubba can create a few game-breaking scenarios where either he can get all the survivors down at once, or he can kind of just get completely taken over. If you can't accurately use this power and chase, which a lot of times I screw up, you're kind of SOL. But on those times where you just start nailing everything, it feels so great. It feels so fun. So I mentioned in my playing against list that I didn't think Freddy is a very fun killer to play against. I do think that playing as, he's a pretty average experience. I think it can be kind of fun, especially like throwing things up like dream pallets and dream snares, teleporting from the gens or faking teleports. I think it can be fun. I think you can entertain yourself for a while doing it. But he's one that I feel gets very, very monotonous very quickly. And I think that's the reason why I don't care so much for Freddy. I'd put him just an average. I don't think that he's not fun, so I'm not going to put him down with Nurse. And it's not that I don't enjoy Freddy. I enjoy him enough that I can keep him an average. Pig is another one that is one of my mains. And I put Pig into fun. Pig is one of those that you really, really have got to be thinking to use Pig effectively. You need to know when to put a trap on someone. You need to know the right time to use ambush. You have to have very good map awareness. Pig makes you think. And that's one of the things that I love about playing Pig. Clown is one that I don't have a lot of fun playing as. I don't know what it is. His power has always been one that I don't care for. I do think it's funny throwing bottles at people and just kind of embodying like the clown spirit and chase and whatnot. But just in general, if I'm going to pick up and play a game, Clown's probably not going to be my go-to choice. I do know that a lot of people quite enjoy playing as Clown, but me personally, he's not a favorite of mine to just pick up and go for, so I'm going to keep him in the not very fun category. Spirit is going to go right behind Wraith in the fun tier. Spirit is one of those that is also so high risk, high reward. So either you're going to nail your phases and you're just going to dominate in the game, or you're going to do horrible. Either way, it's a lot of user error. Either you're in control or you're not. But I think just in general, the movement speed while phasing, knowing that survivors are constantly on edge, or trying to figure out where you are, I think it's fun. I quite enjoy it. Legion is another one that I'm going to put in the fun category. As I've said before, playing against Legion makes me want to DC. I think a lot of people share this sentiment. Playing as Legion, though, I think it's fun because it's one of those like the shoes on the other foot. They're horrible to go against, but whenever you finally get to be Legion, I think it's one of those that you feel like it's your time to get the revenge for all the games that you've been just tunneled out or destroyed by Legion. You get to make the survivors play Men Simulator. It's their turn to know the suffering. All will know pain. Plague is another one we're going to put in the fun category. And I think it's just one of those that it's the novelty of Plague. You get to run around, you get to get your power, you get to use your vomit. It's one of the grosser characters. It's neat, it's cool, it's a nice change up. Plague is one you can usually have some fun with. Ghostface I'm putting in very fun. Keep in mind, Ghostface is probably the killer that I'm just the absolute worst as. I don't know what it is, but I'm horrible at using his power. But whenever I play Ghostface, I don't feel the need to, like, be sweaty. I don't feel the need to really try. I feel like I get to just have a lot of fun as Ghostface. You get to crouch really quick, you get to kind of be goofy, you get to goof around. Maybe you play seriously, maybe you just go around and you vibe. Ghostface is just a fun character overall. Demo is also going to go into very fun. I really like his power. I like his shred. I've said before, I feel like his power is one of the most fair in the entire game. And he even has map traversal, so I think using his portals are pretty fun as well. Like I said, he feels perfectly balanced. Like, if I'm going into a game against a Demogorgon, this is one of those that it's really going to matter who the better player is, who's going to win. No one is getting a boost because their power is better, or because their perks are better. Demo is that perfect benchmark killer that, like, I'm either going to pop off or I'm going to get destroyed. Oni is another one that I have a lot of fun with. And that's because I've put a lot of time into Oni. Before, I used to be really, really bad with him. But I quite enjoy, kind of that cat and mouse game. Get the early hit, collect your blood, and then you really gotta learn how to use your power effectively. Demon Dash, in my opinion, is one of the most fun powers to use. I feel like it's a better version of Billy's Chainsaw. At least, in my opinion, I feel like it controls a bit better, and I like the fact that you can kind of stop at any time's notice. You can still be in power for a while. It's one of those that you also get to kind of conserve how long you get to do it, and I think that overall that makes it a rather good time. Slinger is actually a ranged killer that's going to go into very fun. Slinger is one of those that it kind of breaks down the wall a bit, because you finally get to have a gun in the game. Granted, it's not your standard, like, first-person shooter, this is my gun. It is his railroad spike gun, which I think is really cool to begin with. You get to reel in survivors, which the novelty of that I think is pretty cool. You're playing as the Slinger, an outlaw character. You're moving slower, you're laughing to yourself. You get to really think about how you're going to corral the survivors. I just think he's a fun time. Pyramid Head goes into average. Pyramid Head, to me, is another one of those that he feels very, very sluggish. His power doesn't feel very fast to use. It doesn't feel super rewarding. I think it's cool putting people in cages here and there, but I just don't have a lot of fun trying to play Pyramid Head. I know some people really do, but he's not my go-to. The Bight is one that I think is fun, even though I am horrible as. I'm probably as bad as they come when it comes to Bight. I just think it's real fun to go zoom across the map, because, maybe you'll get a hit, maybe you won't. But other than that, people get to hear you kind of scream and just, take off across the map. I think it's funny, I think it's a good time. The twins are going into very fun for me as well. Before, I think I probably wouldn't have put them as high, but just getting to bring out Victor and run around as Victor, I feel like that in its own right, it's just really funny. It's a great time, it's pretty novel. Throwing Victor on someone and watching them have to deal with it, I think is funny. Watching survivors take Victor and just punt him, I think is hilarious. Overall, I always have a lot of fun when I play twins. Trickster's one that I don't have a lot of fun playing as. And once again, this kind of goes into the whole, I play Trickster on console, he'd probably be more fun if I played him on PC, but I don't feel like I get a lot of success using his power. I don't throw the blades very well, so it's kind of a matter of, since I'm not very good with him, I just don't think he's very fun. I end up having to use him more as an M1 killer because he's just very hard to aim on PC or on console. Nemesis is another one that I put in average. I think he's okay to use in chase. I like the zombies that spawn around. The tentacle's cool, but he's not one that I'm going to just kind of whip out and be like, I'm going to play some Nemesis games for some fun. He's one of those that I play if I'm trying to do a daily challenge or something, but overall, I'd say he's average at best. He's just not the most fun in my opinion. Pinhead also goes into that average tier. He's one of those that can be fun. It's iconic to hear the box, you opened it. I like Chain Hunt. Once again, it kind of comes down to the whole you face Pinhead enough, you have to suffer. It's fun to finally see them have to deal with him. And I think for that reason alone, it's kind of funny. But yeah, I would say he's an average time. So let it be known, I am an artist main. Artist is the main killer that I play. That is why she's going into very fun. I know a lot of people don't have fun playing as artist, and that's okay because that's kind of a personal thing. Everyone's main is probably going to be at the very top of their fun list. Like, let's just get that out of the way very quickly. Artist for me is one of those that I feel like she's very fun because she's my best character. I know that if I go into a match as artist, I have a really good chance of winning. SoDo, I'm putting in fun. SoDo for me is another one that survivors also tend to get pretty hyped whenever they see SoDo. I'll have a lot of matches where survivors just come up to me and they like intentionally want to be corrupted so they can be moried. And that's one of those I think is hilarious. In general, I think teleporting from the TVs is pretty cool, and like the demanifestation and whatnot. I just have a lot of fun playing as SoDo. Dredge is another one that's going into I don't enjoy. Dredge, it's so hard to explain. I don't feel like his power is incredibly rewarding. Nightfall disorients me as well. Plus, even whenever you're kind of in power mode or whenever you're undetectable, you're still making a lot of noise, so it's very easy for you to be heard. But I think more so than anything, Dredge to me feels kind of clunky. I don't know exactly what it is or if I'm describing this correctly, all you other people that play Dredge out there, but Dredge is just one that I don't do particularly bad with. In fact, I'd say I'm rather good with Dredge. I just don't really enjoy playing him. Wesker, I'm going to put into fun. Wesker is one that, if you're just picking him up and you're trying to use his power, you're probably going to be a bit dumbfounded at first trying to use it. You'll realize that you don't have as much time as you would think to actually do your bounds. You kind of got to be quick with it, meaning like you have to plan point A, point B, point C before you even do your dash. And I think that that's interesting. He's one of those that also has great voice lines. Playing as Wesker, you kind of get to embody the character a bit, and I always have a lot of fun getting into the headspace of a character I'm playing as. So for that reason, I'm putting Wesker into fun. This one might surprise a lot of people, but Knight is going into average. Knight is another one that is probably one of my best characters to play as. I do very, very good as Knight, and I think that's part of the reason that I think he's just average. It doesn't feel very hard to win as Knight. Like, Knight's a very, very powerful killer, in my opinion, at least the way that I use him. I tend to have a lot of success with him. And I think that kind of diminishes how much fun he really is. Skull Merchant is one that I don't have a lot of fun playing as. And I'll preface this by saying, Skull Merchant is another killer that I'm actually really good at, but she's not one that I'm going to pick up to just play. Skull Merchant is one that I don't have fun playing against, and I certainly don't have fun playing as. She just kind of has that middle ground. She's kind of boring. The most fun you can have with her is just trying to put up a drone and get a quick undetectable hit. Hux, I'm also going to put in average. I think it's one of those things that his mechanic was very, very new. It was very interesting, entering the actual biopods and then getting like your targets on those people. I think that is, alone, I think that's really nice. I think it's cool. He's getting reworked too, so he might even be more fun after these reworks go through. I'm hoping so anyways. But as he stands currently, he's just average for me. Alien, I think, is a lot of fun. I think they did the burrow mechanic very good. I like the fact that you have to play around the turrets. You get your 2 different modes. You kind of get your crawling mode where you get to use your tail swipe, which I feel like that's a really fun mechanic. I think they did it pretty well. It's one of those that, yeah, you can miss a lot, but you can also nail it a lot, so it feels pretty good. And then being able to be taken out of power and standing up, I think they did a really good job with this killer, making them feel unique, making them feel fun. This should surprise no one at this point. I think the most fun killer in the entire game is Chucky. And I feel like it's pretty evident wise. Chucky is one of those, if you're playing against, maybe you won't have a good time. I personally enjoy facing Chucky, but playing as Chucky, oh my god, it's just hilarious. His voice lines are phenomenal, playing as him feels great, going into hidey home mode is hilarious, you get to just scare the hell out of people constantly. Chucky is just one of those that is so... it's just so fun. You can't have a bad time if you're playing as Chucky. The unknown is going to go into average for me. I've played a few games with the unknown now. I kind of understand how his power works. Still not the greatest at it, and I still don't know that I would say it's the most fun. I think the hallucinations, it's pretty cool getting to transfer from them one to another, but I would say that it's just so-so. I think you can have a lot of fun with the unknown, but I just personally don't have a lot of fun. Vecna. Vecna goes into very fun just because of all the stuff that he adds. He adds the new equipment for the survivors. He has the 4 different powers he shuffles between. Each of them feel unique. Each of them feel really gratifying. And I think just because how much he changes the game up, I have to put him all the way into very fun. So let me know what you guys think of my tier list below. If you disagree, let me hear it. If you agree, you have great taste. And yeah, I'm sorry for the Huntress mains and the Dredge mains out there. Keep in mind, I would probably adore these characters more, especially Huntress. I want to love Huntress, but I just have such a hard time trying to use her on console that I just can't enjoy it. And that really is, it's a skill issue for me. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and like and subscribe for more.